And I think one of the things is, as we begin to wind down is, that's tied to this whole economic picture, and that has to do with protecting our borders and letting people know that we do have a sovereign nation and that our rules and the rule of law should be honored and respected. What are some of the pieces of legislation that you would like to put forward in endorsing, that very important concept?
Again, the immigration issue is another hot rail that nobody wants to tackle. I think President Bush came out with a program and he had some support from the Democrats and some support for some of the liberal Republicans, but he just couldn't get enough support to get it off the ground. And I propose that we continue to protect the borders. I mean, I think as a minimum, you got to stop people coming in illegally. I think the virtual border protection, virtual fence, where you do it electronically, is certainly a better, at least less costly method than building a wall. But if we have to build a wall, then so be it. But I think my approach, which I don't think has been adopted or discussed at all, is to develop Mexico to a point where the people will not want to leave, that the jobs in Mexico are just as high paying as they are in the United States, so that these people don't have to come. I mean, they have what they call and I can't pronounce it, but it's a maquiladora program right now, where if you build manufacturing plants just over the border, that they allow trade-free goods to come into the border, so they get the advantages of the low-cost labor and they don't have to pay tariffs. Now, with the NAFTA, that has been modified, so there's only certain goods today that are restricted, but still there are some restrictions. But I would advocate a program for Mexico similar to any other developing nation, and make sure that we spend at least as much money in Mexico, and I'm talking about billions, not millions, to improve their economy, particularly within 100 miles of the border, to cut down on the desire for people to leave their country. I mean, they're Mexicans. They would want to stay there if they could find jobs that were compensating them adequately. So that's why I think that we need to help Mexico to build an economy, particularly around the border and, if necessary, down into the other South American countries. And rather than saving the world elsewhere, I think we need to get our neighbors set so that they don't want to leave their country to come to ours.